This week on the Modified World, I'm going to show you what I know about playing with Neometal jewelry. Stay tuned. So welcome to the Modified World, the weekly web show about body modification, the people who do it, the people who get it, and why it matters. I am your host. I'm the senior piercer up here at the world-renowned Pangea Piercing in beautiful downtown Ann Arbor, Michigan. Purveyor of internet wackiness that you guys love. That's right, I'm JC Potts, and this week we're going to talk a little bit about how to use Neometal body jewelry. Over the years, I've gotten numerous questions about how exactly do you use Neometal. Seems interesting, a lot of people talk a lot of good things about it, maybe you wanted to try it out, but it's not readily apparent exactly how it would work. Most body jewelry has threads on it, where you can just easily screw it together. Neometal's a little different though. It's a patented system, it's been around for almost 20 years, so it's got a proven track record, plus there's imitators and knockoffs. We always avoid that stuff. But Neometal's interesting. Instead of having threads, it has a little pin that you insert down into the hollow shaft of the jewelry. In the pin, you put a little bit of a bend in it. And as you force it in there, it tries to straighten that wire out, creating spring tension, which holds the jewelry in there quite securely. Actually, frequently as secure and sometimes more so than threaded jewelry. I've never actually had instances of properly adjusted Neometal just falling out on its own. That doesn't keep people from coming in periodically claiming that their Neometal just fell out. It's usually within 2 weeks of Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, that type of stuff that happens. I'm of the mind that they take it out and then they couldn't get it back in, and rather than embarrass themselves by saying that, oh, I couldn't do something, they just would rather blame the jewelry. I've been wearing this stuff for years and years myself and have never had an issue with any loss or anything like that. But once again, though, it does require a little bit of practice, training, or education. And that's why I'm trying to help, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. More than likely, the first time you go to adjust a piece of Neometal, you're probably going to not do a great job on it. But hey, that's where video is powerful, because it can actually show you exactly how little of a bend we're talking about. It's not hard to do. You just take the pin. As you can see, it comes from the factory perfectly straight. You have to adjust it on your own. What I do is I put it roughly halfway in and then just give it ever so slight of a bend. Not more than just a few degrees. It should look about like this when you're done. That's going to hold it really secure. Now, for gold ends, this is a little different. Gold is not nearly as springy as titanium. Properly made, compatible ends with Neometal jewelry, of course, if they're properly made out of gold, they'll have hardened gold wire coming out for the connection. And once again, it can be pretty secure. However, you can't just do the one bend in the middle. I do a little, what I call the S bend, where about a third of the way down, you bend it one direction, pull it out, and then about 2/3 of the way down, you bend it the opposite direction. It should look something like this when you're done. Notice how it has a subtle S curve to it, where the one next to it out of titanium just has a simple bend in the middle. We're talking real subtle differences here, folks. Bend it too much and they won't go in. If that happens, then I hate to tell you this, you're really going to need a pair of parallel jaw pliers to be able to straighten them back out. If you don't have parallel jaw pliers, really, I would be hesitant to try to work on them. I have, in a pinch, just taken the bar itself and used it to straighten the thing back out, but the best thing you can do is just don't screw it up in the first place. If you're a professional or an aspiring professional, practice. Don't just wait for a client to come in and then figure out that, oh, this is a little tougher than you thought. Practice first. And if you're a client, it's the first time you've bought a piece of Neometal, take it to a professional piercer who's experienced with it, and they can help you out. Hell, that's why we're here anyway. But if you don't have anybody in your area that you can have help with that, and you still want to experience the magic that is Neometal, well, don't be afraid. Go ahead and get some, and refer back to this video when it comes time to actually put it in. It can save you from losing a piece of valuable jewelry. And that was my show this week. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe learned something. Possibly entertained. You know, I love to hear from you guys. So, give me a holler, man. You know, I make all kinds of stuff too. So, if you haven't been over to my website lately, stop by and check it out. I've got nifty stuff like this little pinky ring that I made. And a bunch of other stuff too. You never know. I'm putting up all kinds of things on there. So stop by and check me out. And of course, tune back in next week for another episode of The Modified World.